Greetings, Grayscale fans. I'm Chevalier, and a big welcome to the small talk or big talk, depending on how it goes, of course, about how you should become the HRE Emperor and the most efficient way for you to become the HRE Emperor. Now, this is gonna be a video focused on just becoming the HRE Emperor. We're gonna maybe delve a little bit or talk a little bit about the certain modifiers that you can have when you want to become the HRE Emperor, but I'm not gonna talk about the bonuses or some standard stuff or the electors. That is gonna be left up to you. I'll probably try to do another video after this about detailing this, but I really want to get this out right now, simply because it's really important and it's really crucial for a European nation to try to aim for the HR leadership, simply because it's really OP. Now, if you want to go and learn more about the HRE Emperor and all the modifiers, you can go to the wiki. It's database there, really good for the wiki, for the becoming HRE Emperor and the certain modifiers that you can get. But this is gonna be only a talk about the ways to become the HRE Emperor. Now, the rant is out of the way. Let's go for the explanations. The basic way, the most simplistic way, is to become the HRE Emperor militarily, simply by vassalizing the electors, usually the smallest guys, for example Mainz, Trier, Cologne, but even these guys here, depending on if they get killed in the process. But the electors, if you look at the map, are these guys here, and these guys here are really big. These guys are quite small. We have Cologne, Trier, Palatinate, and Mainz. This should be your targets if you want to vassalize somebody, and that will allow you to basically get to 100 points, and you're gonna have those votes. You usually need 3 guys to become the HRE Emperor. That is this, I guess, the most appropriate number. You can usually do it with 2, but 3 is the appropriate number that you should aim for. And of course, this will cause you problems. Military vassalization will get you increased aggressive expansion by a huge margin, as well as you'll basically costing you a lot of war exhaustion, simply because you'll have to declare an OCB war against Mainz, for example, or against Cologne, and you're gonna have to vassalize them, and they're part of the HRE. It's really gonna blow up in your face, especially if you want to do this earlier on. Later, it's possible, but it's still not recommended. The bigger you are, the better the second option is. Now, the second option is quite simple, diplomatic. I mean, just get an alliance, get everything, get the points up, get everything up, so you can become the HRE Emperor. Now, if I actually do a tag switch to France, you'll see that right now everything is as -94. This is quite simplistic. Everything is as -94, simply because you're not a member of the HRE. Now, if you choose your targets well, and I'm going to talk about them, you can get this number up. It's going to be close. It's going to be +5, +10, +15, but it's doable. It's doable for you to become the HRE Emperor. Now, the way you should choose your targets for alliances is simply guys that do not get royal marriages. The AI, for example, let's say Austria, will get an alliance with Brandenburg, and he'll get a royal marriage. This will give him up to 100 points. If he improves relations, he's gonna go to 200 points. They're gonna be at max. You're not gonna be able to beat them. It's really annoying. Now, if you choose a target that cannot get a royal marriage, they'll only go up to 175, and it's gonna leave that 25 gap, which you as a player, you'll be able to give them cash. This is gonna get you up to 200, and it's gonna be the difference between you and the current leader or anybody else that wants to become the HRE Emperor. This is really crucial. This, coupled with having an advisor that gives you diplomatic reputation. Right, we have 2 right now. As you can see, French traditions have +1 diplomatic reputation, so you have 2. If you get an advisor, you're gonna get 3. If you have high legitimacy, you're gonna have the 1 for legitimacy. If this lowers, it's gonna be better as well. So you have to have legitimacy up as well. And prestige counts as well as a modifier. If you look at this, prestige counts as you're gonna get 20 points from prestige, so basically 1 point for every 5 prestige, and that's gonna allow you to get more points. Now, this is really important. If you have prestige up, legitimacy up, diplomatic reputation up, it's really possible for you to become the HRE Emperor diplomatically, which is really gonna allow you to basically take it over with a small cost in Diplo points, I would say. I mean, this shouldn't be, or it's really gonna cost you Diplo points, mainly because my recommendation is to have an alliance with Cologne, Tredier and Mainz, and having full relations. This means that you're gonna have to settle 3 alliances here, and you're gonna have to have a couple more, a couple more alliances for yourself. For example, as France, perhaps an alliance with Castile, for example. No, they rivaled you. An alliance with Aragon, for example. Who rivaled me? So, Burgundy and Castile. So I'll have an alliance with Aragon most likely, and an alliance with Hungary, perhaps. Alliance with Hungary would be good as well. But anyway, some defensive alliances. Right now, France is actually fucked because it's gonna be a sandwich. These guys are gonna ally themselves. This guy are gonna ally themselves. England with Castile, and probably Castile with Burgundy. No, so basically England with Castile most likely, and they're gonna attack France. France is dead, so let's not talk about this. But yeah, it's possible for you to do this, but it's gonna cost you probably -1 point because you're gonna be over the limit. This means that you have to be careful of the order of the alliances. Go for the guys that don't actually are friendly to you. Basically, they have the +50 because they're friendly. But this guy here is not friendly, so he has only 16. So you have to go with this guy first, then this guy, then this guy. My recommendation is to start the bigger alliances, for example, as France ally Aragon first, although they still like you, so it's still doable. So you ally Aragon first, then you go for these guys, then for Mainz, then Cologne and Tredier. Basically, according to the nation modifier here. For example, Tredier is at 86, but Cologne is at still at 86, but Mainz is at 16. So try to go according to that modifier. Other than this, this is simplistic. You are most likely gonna become the HRE Emperor as time goes by. It's possible for you to become the HRE Emperor when this guy dies. Now, Austria, usually when he goes into his first war, is gonna make his leader into a general because he considers his current leader really bad and he wants him to die, or he just wants one more slot for a general. I don't know how the AI thinks in this area, but he's gonna make his leader into a general, and right now he's 29, so he's expected to die in about 15 years, perhaps 20 years. So by 1465, sorry, 1465, let's say 1470, this guy should die. That is your first option into becoming the HRE Emperor. Now, if this guy dies and he has a small heir, for example, he goes into regency, you're gonna be fucked. It's impossible for you to become the HRE Emperor diplomatically at that point for the next 60 years, which is gonna be really bad. But my recommendation is to just destroy Austria, or just destroy the current emperor that got elected. Just erase him. If the country doesn't exist, there is no emperor. So it's possible for you to just erase Austria out of the map, as I tried to do in my I tried to do this in my BBB campaign, be a big Bubble achievement campaign. Although I managed to get the achievement without erasing Austria, so there was no need for me to do it. But yeah, it's doable, and you should do it if you have the capabilities. Basically, let's say I don't know. It's Dutch. Kerala became the HRE Emperor for some reason. We don't know why. He became the HRE Emperor. Kill him. Just waste him. Destroy him. Make him not exist. And you're gonna be free to inherit the HRE Emperor. Mainly because he's gonna be a small guy and you're gonna have more points than him for in the council. But remember, Austria might again go up because of his status as a large nation in the HRE Emperor. Modifier that you should be careful of. I surely do that video about the modifiers because it's really important. So I should do this after I do this video I'm gonna do that one as well. So just to be more clear on the modifiers. But yeah, aim for diplomatic, aim for the votes diplomatically for the guys that don't cannot get royal marriages, and you should secure it. Again, try to give them cash. You can get more points by where is it? No. Here it's economic actions. You can actually transfer trade power, and you're gonna get more points this way. So again, ways after ways of becoming the HRE Emperor, getting more points. I'm also gonna talk to them about it in the next video. It's really important that I should explain this to some degree. But yeah, go for the guys that don't get royal marriages, get your religions up, get alliances. Try to basically become the HRE Emperor diplomatically from the start, especially if you're a big nation. Also, another small reminder, go for the alliance first, simply because that is gonna screw up the other opponent's way of options of getting an alliance, simply because of this modifier here. I need this. Yeah. They have an alliance. Yes, they have an alliance. So if I go for an alliance here, you'll see, no, it does not. There's a modifier here that states that they already have powerful allies. So basically, if you ally one of these OPMs, they're gonna have powerful allies, and they cannot actually ally Austria or one of these big guys like Bohemia. That is gonna reduce the chances of somebody wanting their votes, which is gonna be really good for you. They're mostly gonna be small guys here, small OPMs, and they're gonna have the modifier small nation in the HRE. I cannot show you right now because everybody's voting for Austria, but they're gonna have the modifier for small nation in the HRE, minus 25 I think, or no, minus 25 for small nation, which is really gonna help you to a huge degree. Also, careful of the current Imperial authority, which actually gives the current Emperor gives him points. So basically just 1 point per Imperial authority, which is really gonna screw you up to a heavy degree. So if at all possible, try to make sure that the Austria, for example, manages to pass. Is it possible for me to add this? No, let's go to. No, I can do this. It's not possible, right? Yeah, it's too large. Let's say for smaller guys, it's possible for you to boost up the HRE, the Holy Roman Empire Imperial Authority, for example, as the Teutonic Order. You can actually add those things up to the HRE Emperor. You can become part of the HRE Emperor. If I go to tag Teutons, no, tag Teutons, Teutons. Yeah, there we go. So basically, the HRE, he can become the part of the HRE Empire when he has that 159 reputation relations with the HRE Emperor, and you can add your shit up to the HRE. This basically means that it's gonna be easy for you to become the HRE Emperor, simply because you're gonna increase. Sorry, my bad. I lost the train of thought. You're gonna be able to increase the imperial authority of the emperor. That is gonna allow him to pass a reform earlier on, which is gonna decrease his total imperial authority overall, which is gonna allow you to become the HRE Emperor faster. At the same time, it's good because he's gonna pass an imperial reform, which is again good for you because you're gonna get some more modifiers, and it's gonna allow you to basically it's not gonna be needed for you to pass that reform as well, and you're not gonna waste these points simply because how should I put it? At the start of the game, the HRE Emperor has minus 0.8 every month, simply because there are many provinces that are not part of the HRE. It's gonna take a while for the HRE Emperor to integrate those provinces, which is gonna be quite difficult. Part of them are in Burgundy, some of them are part of Provence, one of them is part of the Teutonic Order, one of them is part of Denmark. So it's gonna take you a while. It's gonna take a while for you to become the HRE Emperor. Now, as you can see here, the Teutonic Order cannot become part of the, cannot become a HRE Emperor simply because he's a bishopric. Like that is also to be noted, but I'm going to talk about this in the next episode simply because it's quite important for you to know the modifiers. Now, this is pretty much it. There's nothing much to talk about in this part here, and how you should become the HRE Emperor. It's quite simplistic. Go for diplomatic ways. It's the most efficient way, if I say so myself, and it's not gonna impeach you to any degree. Just use the small trick with the bishoprics of Cologne, Trier, and Mainz, and you're gonna be golden. With this, guys, I bid you farewell. And if you have any requests for me, like you want to know more about a specific idea, for example, or let's say a specific country, some mechanic that you don't understand, like for example estates, that is on my docket as well to do a video about estates. Just keep on reminding me, do comments in some of our videos or in the overview on my channel. Just say something. Hey dude, I want you to do a video about no, can you do, not I want you, can you do a video about let's say the estates, the aristocratic idea group, national ideas. Again, if you have any requests, I'm happy to take them. With this, I bid you farewell, guys. I hope you enjoy this, and I hope you become the HRE Emperor successfully. Ciao.